Inside AI ML welcomes you to the series of Power BI, and we are continuing this series. In the last class, we have shown you how can you install Power BI and what are the various important links for the Power BI. Now we are continuing. Now what we will be doing is we are going to explore Power BI desktop, and we will tell you first detail what all available in Power BI desktop, how to use those features which are available here. So as soon as you open this screen of Power BI first time, you will see this pop up on top of your Power BI where you have option for get data, recent resources, and you can disable this screen by clicking here, show this screen on startup. And in this manner, you can actually go ahead and enter into the Power BI by directly taking the data, but we are not interested in taking the data. So we are going to cross this screen and enter into the Power BI. So once you are in the Power BI, you will see this particular screen and what are the options available. Let's explore those. So we will start with the left hand side. On the left hand side, you see the first tab, which is the report tab, which you are right now seeing this report area where you have this page 1 written at the bottom. This is the report area, and you have options. You have panes like filter, visualization, and field pane. A field pane is common across all these three tabs. We are going to look into these couple of tags again, but filter and visualization is very specific to the reports, and when you are creating the report, only these panes will appear. Now let's look into the second one, which is data. Now once we have some data, we will be able to see some tables out here. In those tables, we will be able to see data by clicking on this one. So this is like just like your Access Explorer, Data Explorer, or your Excel sheet kind of stuff would be available here. Now the third one is when we have multiple tables, we are going to create some relationship out here, and we will be able to view those relationship. Also, to the available field list, we can click and set some properties out here. We have column tools where we can set those properties, but this is a better place to set it up, and we will let you know how to use this in our videos. So now let's come back to the report tab, and then we will continue here. Let's explore a few more options out here. So let's see, this is option which is file, and inside the file you will be able to see your recent file and all those stuff. Then you have home page, home tab basically. So in the home tab you have get data, and you have seen get data at the starting. Now inside the get data you have 100 plus connectors from Power BI side. You can explore all those connectors. In this series we are going to explore the connectors with the flat files like Excel, CSV, and we are also going to explore one database connector, which is going to be SQL Server connector. Now if you see all, there is a long list now, but you can go into the classification. Like files supported are Excel, CSV, XML, JSON format. Very common format these days is JSON format. Folder, you can read a complete folder and append those files inside that folder. The only thing is they should be of same format. PDF you can read. Parquet is a very common format in these days for columnar storage. You can read there from there. And SharePoint folder means if you are one having SharePoint access, you can also able to take data from SharePoint folder, not only folders. So that stuff you can do. Now databases, long list from starting from SQL Server, Access. Another important one is SQL Server Analysis Services Database, Oracle Database, IBM DB2, IBM Informix, IBM Netezza, MySQL, PostgreSQL. Both these are available in open source versions, and they are pretty common databases. Sybase, Teradata, SAP, you have connector for SAP HANA, SAP Business Warehouse, SAP Business Warehouse Messaging Servers. Amazon, you have connector for Amazon Redshift. Impala for Google, you have connector for BigQuery. Vertica, Snowflake is very common database these days for data warehousing. You have a connector for this. Ebase. Then you have few more other connectors which you can explore. Now for Power Platform, there is a strong integration. You have Power BI datasets. Now what happens when we will teach you, you will learn that we will publish this file, and while we publish this file, there would be a dataset which is also getting created, and that dataset can also act as a source. So what is the benefit of such things that I publish the dataset and I use it? Assume that you wanted to separate out your modeling of Power BI from your report development of Power BI. So what you can do is you can use only one Power BI file, while creating the Power BI data sets, and you publish the data set without, let's say, any reports or something like that. Now everyone else consuming that Power BI data set as a source and start developing their applications or their reports. And now those reports can be used with a common data set where you have already set up your model, and so that nobody else has to be worried about what kind of modeling it need to be done, and this work can be taken out by IT team or expert data model experts. Now there is something known as Power BI data flow. Now when we are going to teach you Power BI here, we are going to teach you that we have something known as Power Query. Now in Power Query, we are going to do some kind of a ETL operation, small ETL operation or bigger ETL operation, then some kind of data preparation also we are going to do. Now this data preparation, again, just like we talked about Power BI data set could be a common place, you can actually use Power BI data flows where you can centralize the data processing or data preparation or data ETL at a one place, and then entire organization can take advantage of those data flows, and you can have multiple data flows if you want to use. Now that will give you added advantage, so we will try to explore this opportunity to see if we can create a data flow and can use that. Okay, so now then comes the common data gateway, which is available, a common data service which is available across Power Platform that you can use. Then Dataverse and Power Platform data flows are also available. Now for Azure, you have a long list of connecting things with Azure, like Azure SQL database, Azure Snap Analytics, Azure Analysis Services database. This is SQL Server Analysis Services were there. So Azure Analysis Services, Azure database for Postgre, Azure Blob Storage, Azure Table Storage, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Data Explorer, Azure Data Lake, Gen 2, Gen 1, Azure HD Insights, Azure Spark, Azure Interactive Query, Azure Cost Management. There are so many things which are available around Azure, and if you have one of those services available with you, you can go ahead and explore. Then you have a lot of online services, starting with SharePoint links, Microsoft Exchange Online, Dynamics 365, Dynamics Nav, Dynamics Business Central, Dynamics Business Central, all premise also you can use. Azure, Microsoft Azure Consumption Insights, Azure DevOps, Azure DevOps Server, Salesforce, Salesforce Reports, Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, and so many things are available which you can analyze. And then this is a long list including Zoho Creator, Products Insights, Project place for Power BI, all those things. And then in the others, you have Web Connector, which is basically you're going to use for OneDrive as well as Google Drive and SharePoint. You can use that. SharePoint list is another. The OData feeds, Active Directory, Microsoft Exchange, Hadoop, Spark, Hive, RScript, Python script, ODBC. Now there are many databases which might not have a direct connector, but they have a ODBC connector. You can use those, or they have a OLEDB connector. You can use those using this. Then there are so many other connectors which are also available out here. So if you have data from these connectors, you can go ahead and explore those. Microsoft typically have a monthly release. These data sets will keep on increasing. So the list we are showing you here, when you actually go ahead and practice it, it might increase. So just check that out. Other than that, you have certain certified connectors and template apps which are available, which you can utilize. So for certified connectors, please make sure that you only use Microsoft certified connectors. There could be third-party connectors which are available, but be sure they are Microsoft certified if you are trying to use those. So we are going to leave this connector part as is here and then cancel it. Right now we are going to load this data. I'm going to show it to you in our videos, but let's explore further more options. So we have Excel, Power BI dataset, SQL Server as a handy options given here. Other than that, you can also enter data directly into Power BI, and here what will happen, you can actually copy paste into this UI from Excel sheet. So if I click and open it here, you can actually give a column name, and you can start typing and enter the data out here. Like I have a column and I can say 1, I can say 2, I can say okay name, I can name it, and I can further have the columns. We can say A, B, C, we can say D, E, F, and we can have some value like J, K, L, E, F, G, these kind of values, and we can say load, and we will get a table out of data. We can copy paste data from Excel out here or from HTML tables on browser. Okay, but right now we are not going to do this. We are going to do that sometime when we are part of we are going to use as part of our development. When we are going to do some use case, we are trying to use enter data. Dataverse you have seen, and then you have recent sources. You can go to the recent sources and can edit those. Then we have very important thing, transform data. Under transform data you have transform data, and that is what we are talking about, Power Query. The another name which you will be which you will come across, edit data is another name, or edit query or Power Query are the commonly known names which you will be hearing. Now data source setting is where you can actually go ahead and edit your data sources, which you can go ahead and explore. If let's say you have a file at one place, is you loaded that, you moved it to another place, you can actually go ahead and connect your data set settings. Now you can add new visuals out here. Now either you can click here or you can click here, and you can add text boxes. You want to write down some script, you have something known as more visual. From app source you can get more visuals. Now what happened, Power BI has given you set of standard visual, but this is not only the visual from Microsoft. There are more visuals from Microsoft, like histogram is very common visual which is not available here, but that's also available with Power BI. There are quite a few visuals from Microsoft, from other party vendors, which you can get either from here more visual, or on the three dots if you click get more visuals is the option. But for that you need to have a login and organizational login. Once you log in, you will be able to go ahead and use those visuals. So we will go ahead and try that. We will try to add some visuals, like we have a visual which is used for animation, which is so we are going to download that particular visual, and we will try to use that visual so in one of our classes, and we will showcase it to you. Now insert, you can insert a new page. You have option button down here, the plus button near to the page also. Then again new visuals, more visuals. The queue influencer, decomposition trees are important visuals which you can use. Smart narratives, which is AI enabled. You can also add power apps, you can add text boxes, you can add buttons, you can add shapes. There are different kind of shapes which are available to make your report look much more interactive. And then you can also add images out here. You can browse the files from places and you can add those. Now under the modeling you have right now you will only see new table, but once we have a table we will see new column, new measures are also enabled. We have parameter to do what if analysis, and we will try to explore that options also in our classes. Then there is a view where you can create your own theme. So if you click here, there is an option to for theme gallery, customize the current theme. And so as I told you, in the flow we are going to explore the flow little bit and come back and again start that flow. When we will come back and start again the flow, we will first set up our Power BI theme correctly, and we are going to use that. So when we start again, when we start with the bigger data set, we will do that. Now there are page views which are available for you, like fit to page, fit to width, fit to actual size, which you can explore. Then there is a filter pane which you can hide or show by clicking on this. You have bookmarks, which we will explore in future sessions. Selections, which is again we are going to use when we are going to use bookmarks. Performance analyzer, when we look into the external tool, we are going to show you performance analyzer. Sync slicer is another option. When you have slicer on more than one page, you are going to use this option. Now in the help menu you have various documentation link from Microsoft site. You have support link, you have Microsoft Power BI blog links, you have community link where you can go and ask your question. If you have an idea, you think this feature is not available, you can go and create an idea. Now there is something known as external tools, and which is very important. Power BI is internally using the same engine as Azure Analysis Services Tabular Edition, but there are few features which are available inside Power BI but cannot be explored as the UIs have not been provided. Now Tabular Editor is one which are going to help you, and we are going to explore in future how can we use these external tools. So there are roles like Tabular, which Tabular Editor will play, DAX Studio will play. DAX Studio is a very good play around if you are one who are trying to improve upon your DAX and want to practice DAX like SQL in a development studio. DAX Studio is one you can explore. And what happens when we do the development, sometime what happens, there are chances that two versions of the same files would be created and we want to compare. Now Power BI PBIX is a binary file and you cannot compare binary files, but there is a tool, ALM toolkit is the tool which we are going to explore in this series, where you will be able to compare those. So all these things we are going to explore in our future lectures. So let's jump back onto the home tab and go to the data transform data, and in the transform data let's go ahead and explore again what options are there.